Another day, another video. Welcome back to the channel, everybody. Today we're watching Peaky Blinders. This episode 4 of the final season. Hopefully guys have been enjoying the series so far. And mate, there's been some unexpected twists happening in this show. I can't believe that Tommy and obviously Lizzie's daughter has just died. Ruby, she had consumption, and boom mate, last episode she has finally passed away. Now that is deep, and Tommy wasn't even there for last moments as well. Lizzie said that she had to give, you know, his final kiss goodbye, and she was asking for him as well. But earlier on in the episode, she was fuming pretty much at Tommy. You know, she was venting towards Ada, saying that, you know, the doctors know what it is, they know how to deal with it, and my husband, you know, is out doing gypsy stuff, running up in the mountains. Well, to be honest, right, Tommy was trying to do everything that he could to prevent, obviously, the action that actually happened, her dying. Now, whether he was right or wrong to do that, he was trying to chase down every single lead possible to save his daughter's life. And we actually learned that she was put... And now a curse was put on her because Tommy, you know, the sapphire that he put on Grace, and then obviously Grace was killed in that episode by the Italians, you know. He took it to the gypsies, give it the sapphire. She said, yes, it was cursed. Tommy was like, don't want none of that. Get that away from me. You can have it. And Tommy left Wales. Now, we learned from that moment, that woman went back, give it to the little girl. She wore it. Couple of minutes after wearing it, she started coughing. Later that night, the girl had died, 7 years old, and the curse was placed on Tommy. And now it looks like it is coming to, obviously, coming true, because Tommy's little girl has just died at age 7 as well. And I don't blame Tommy at all, mate. That is not his fault. He went there, he found some information, he didn't want anything to do with it, he gave it away. And then obviously it's been a massive steamroll effect since there. So it's crazy. I feel sorry for him and Lizzie, to be honest. Really, really sorry for him. Now, I don't know how it's going to play for the rest of the season with his rivalry between, obviously, Jack and obviously Michael. Michael's still locked up in a jail cell in Boston. We've seen Tommy earlier on in the season cutting deals with, obviously, Alpha. But he also kind of proposed the same kind of, well, prize, so to speak, with Alpha. You know, he was offering him the opium so that he could distribute it across Boston. He offered Jack information so he could, you know, get contacts for the fascists, but high profiles, you know, not the people who just walk in Birmingham, people in the MPs, people, you know, helping government. They're the type of people that he wants to be dealing with. And Tommy said that he can give him that information for, you know, safe passage for the opium into Boston. So he's cut a deal with Jack, but he's also cut a deal with Alpha. I don't know how that's going to play out. And like right now, like I was saying earlier on in the season, everything's going bad for Tommy, and I feel like obviously he's collapsing as well. He's going through these flashback moments. I feel like we're setting him up to, yeah, lose. Lose, yeah, and I don't want him to. I feel like Michael could come up trumps at the very end and take over everything, but it's going to be interesting to see. I have no problem with how it actually ends, because I know it's done and done. I always accept it, but if I could choose, I would like Tommy sitting on the throne at the top of the empire, but I don't think that's going to happen. We'll have to find out. So that is where we currently are. Hopefully you guys are excited for today's episode. If you are, please smash a like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new, and as always, let's jump into today's episode. It's the second funeral death we've seen this season, isn't it? Ollie's burial and now Ruby's.
I've written some words. I can't speak them. You're the oldest. You're speaking for me.
I'm sorry, brother. I can't do it.
We could have afforded a golden carriage. She deserved a golden carriage, but we didn't afford ourselves that luxury because gold doesn't work. This place was a favored place in the whole world. You never know what's going to come down the river. It's little Ruby's fate came 1,000 miles too soon. And whatever comes down that river from now on, we will make peaceful and honest and good and send it on down the river better than it was. In our memory, we will do this. You made her laugh. You light the flame.
No! It's well emotional, isn't it? Like, imagine being a parent doing this to your kid. It's ruthless, man.
The devils who did this will pay, Ruby.
Oh, I hope so. I hope so. Thought Tommy did everything that he could to get rid of that sapphire, and the extent he went to after he gave it away is nothing to do with him. Mad, innit? Do you know what I miss, honestly? Take a little walk to the edge of town. Why have they got rid of that? Like, literally, when was the last time we had that introduction? Was it season 3 or something? Like, who decided that was no longer going to be the theme song? Like, I absolutely love theme tunes. It gets you well get into the show, but that was a mad start. I thought the song, like, when the girl, when Ruby was getting taken there, was so loud, honestly. It was, like, ear blistering loud. And like Tommy said there, mate, whoever's just done that, they're going to pay for it. And I hope they do as well, because like I was just saying there, unless somebody can give me a better example of something that I'm missing, because I may have missed something, I feel like, you know, it's a bit harsh to blame Tommy for the curse being placed on her.
Riley, I think the police are here.
You've had no Barwell?
Oh,
Yeah?
it's found her.
Who's asking?
I'm here on behalf of the Blue Sapphire.
Oh. That's what we like to see, Savage Tommy. Oh, hopefully the next 2 episodes and the rest of this one's going to be crazy like that. Mate, he said that his last kill was 4 years ago. It was himself to Jack, wasn't it? Now he's just killed about 10 people.
Christians say the Lord gives, the Lord takes away. Spirits just took away your child.
Get out of the car, let's mate.
The same spirits want to give you a different child, Tommy. She said you slept together under a hazel tree in May 1914. When she fell pregnant, you'd already joined the army and gone away to France. Here's yours. If the losing of Ruby's left a hole in your heart, I'll send him to you.
This doesn't benefit Lizzie, does it? I'd say business is done. See, that one there is interesting. At the current juncture, I would say business is done. Because, right, you've just lost a child. Now, again, you could be acquiring one. But it's like, I'm going to use an analogy if you've got dogs. Yeah, you got a dog, you've loved it, you know, you care for it, it's the best dog in the world, you know, it's a big family pet, everyone loves it, and then it dies, and then everyone's devastated, and the next day you bring a new one back, and then you're like, you're trying to replace the old one, or what? Do you know what I mean? Like, it's that concept. Like, Lizzie, this guy is not Lizzie's kid. She's just lost a daughter. Tommy can't just turn up the next day and say, here's a son, we just lost a kid, but we've got a new one. Doesn't fill that void. Do you know what I mean? It's too close. It is too close. Too close. So he has to me, it's good that he knows that information and he could use it and utilise it maybe down the line. Obviously in the show I think he's going to utilise it straight away. But in reality, I would say, yeah, business is done. I would acquire that information and I would wait until, not that you're ever going to move on from losing a child, but until times are better.
I know where you went.
I'm going to spend more hours working in the Commons with Mr. Churchill. His fight is my fight.
I sat like a stone and thought about you killing someone in her name.
I killed a woman and 3 men, and their bodies will be thrown aboard the boat. I got all the other bodies, but I'm stepping off that boat and onto another boat. Do you understand?
The doctor from the sanatorium called and said that he needs to speak with you urgently.
I think the doctors, mate, are going to tell him something bad. Well, everybody agrees differently as well. Obviously, she's mad at him, but she can't be mad that he's gone for revenge.
Arthur, give me a light, will you?
I keep saying it all the time, but Arthur plays his role really well. You might think it's so simple, but it's not. Try get on the floor and just acting the way he's doing, his body mannerisms. Well hard.
What are you doing here?
Wait for this fucking cop to fill up. Fucks up your mind.
He was already fucked up. He was fucked up since he was a kid. When I had you down on the ground, I gave you 1 too many to the head.
Is it your old out?
That cup would take ages to fill it, innit?
You don't drink no more, Arthur.
A change, man.
You know when Polly was gone, Arthur, thought I could just march and march. And then Ruby went. I stumbled and crashed. Remember the January, Arthur? Family boat. The whole family living on something this size of 10 of these fucking barrels. So you waving that fucking boat hook in the coppers' faces. That's when I realised. When I had you on the ground. It's because you let me win. You've wanted me to win ever since.
You know what I like as well? That barrel is still dripping.
Just a few more yards to go.
It's nearly done. He said that a few times now, hasn't he?
Change your ways, and I'll change the fucking world.
Mr. Shelby will be down shortly.
Please tell Mr. Shelby on behalf of us all that changing the world can wait.
He doesn't want to wait.
Yo, before that happens, I noticed that Gina didn't come actually with Jack, which is interesting. But also, Tommy was talking about boats and stuff a second ago, and it's got me reminded as well when he was talking about Ruby at the start of the episode, and he was saying, you know, boats coming down the canal and it's stopping and moving on. We want to send them on a better way. What's happening with the Billy Boys? They come down, do you remember, waving the white flag, you know, they come to a little truce, and obviously Tommy found out that they was working with Mosley. But then, they was the ones that... It might just be me who wants them to die, right? They absolutely killed Abrahama's son in cold blood, ruthless, tied him up on a cross, shot him in his head while he was there on his own, and then obviously with the help of whatever's last season at the very end, Abrahama died as well, and they've not paid no actions for it. Abrahama did do pretty good though when he went up to Scotland, and you know, they was on the road and they come and they thought they was boss and they thought that they could take all the vehicles and beat them up, and no mate, they ended up getting battered, didn't they? And they ended up pouring like tar on that guy's face. That was ruthless. That was the only time they got one up on them. And I actually want Abrahama to be avenged, because regardless of if you like him or not, what happened to him was ruthless. And obviously Polly's died as well, so their family's kind of like ended. That kid was killed. Do you know what I mean? And like Mosley's kind of been a part of it. So I hope that like somebody pays somewhere down the line, because that was a big story kind of like of last season.
I'm okay, Francis.
I like Francis.
The agenda is in my head. I look okay.
If someone touches you, you won't shatter.
Can't be singing rebel songs in a house in grief and mourning.
Sing it to me softly. Breaks my heart.
Should she sing her rebel IRA song while we wait?
Go for it.
A meeting of similar intent to this in Berlin. It lasted until the sun came up, and when breakfast was served on the terrace overlooking the mountains, they brought up some Jews, and while we ate our eggs, they were forced to eat grass. We should all remember this is serious business.
She absolutely hates the Jewish. She said that last episode to Ada that she wants to get rid of him.
In a neat little town they call Belfast.
Interesting. And look, what is her deal with him? Like, I'm fascinated by it. Look at his blue eyes. He's literally got the best eyes like I've ever seen. No black. Get out of here. Oh, yeah, it's her son. Been told not to serve him, innit? Yes, Ada, go on. Shoot him.
I thought her the queen.
Mr. Shelby.
Please, no condolences. Perhaps, Mr. Mosley, we can turn to what practical things Mr. Nelson can do to further our cause.
We do indeed have things for you to whisper into the president's ear.
And in Ireland, appeasers to the English abound. But we represent the true, liberated spirit of the country that populated your own.
I like the camera movement.
Mr. Shelby has one of the largest Commons majorities in England. When the time comes, he'll resign his party whip and run as an independent.
But underneath, do you truly believe in the cause, Mr. Shelby?
I'm here. Mr. Nelson, I'm here. 4 nights after, and I'm here.
Prove it.
Has he got to do his stupid Mosley salute or something?
Banish Judah.
Yo, he got to commit, right? Regardless of whether you agree with it or not, right? I go to an episode in the originals where Klaus Michelson is clearly the oldest, strongest and baddest vampire that the world's ever seen. Yeah, somebody's been injected and currently they possess the power over him. And he's currently getting one up on Klaus. And he tells the king, Klaus, to bend the knee. Now, realistically, he would never bend the knee because he is the big man. But in a position where you need to acknowledge that you've got to do something, regardless of whether you dislike it, to get to a better outcome, you got to go for it. So it's like the king bending the knee to somebody that is actually below them currently. But you've got to do it to make them feel that they have got the position of power so that you can use your strategy later down the line to go after them. This is Tom here, regardless of what his opinion is of Mosley and the cause. He's committed to this meeting, this thing that they're doing. And even if he's got to lie and do whatever it is that he has to do there by putting his hand up, you know what I mean? It doesn't mean that he's committed to it. It was a deflection, yeah? When he asked him the question there, deep down, are you committed to the cause? He never answered it. He just said, I'm here, aren't I? That is a massive deflect. But he's still falsely, in my opinion, stood up, done the salute to make him believe that he's committed. So again, I don't blame him for actually doing that. I actually think that he's just going along with it so he can take him down.
That thing is going to get us killed. At school, they've stopped talking to me. They're going to separate us all out.
Where will they send you, Carl? You're half gypsy. Something I never told you before, because it wasn't important. Your dad was Jewish. So where will they send you, Carl?
He's wounded now, innit?
I've proven your commitment in a most extraordinary way. Boston is now officially open for the importation of your merchandise.
Oh, okay. He's gonna lose his rag, innit?
If we have established what we came here to establish, perhaps we should all say goodnight.
It's the same typewriter you bought me all those years ago.
I do love a good typewriter. They're sick, aren't they?
You've become more respectable.
He's typing that with some anger, isn't he? He's smashing those keys.
I'm typing up my recollection of the meeting. If I do it straight away, I can quote people word for word. Useful to Mr. Churchill if it is word for word.
Oh, he's working with Churchill. I mean, yeah, he's double bluffing everyone. He had me there. I thought he was working against Churchill, but he's still working for him. It's some good stuff, mate. Word for word, fresh in the mind. Oh, that's ruthless, that, Tommy.
I burnt her chair. The paint on the wood left a smell in the air. I didn't open the window. Quite like the smell. I have this work to do because now I know. And I will change.
He's in deep, though. He is in deep. I need to know what that letter says to me, big time. It's saying he's dying or something. Has he got a tumour? Has he got cancer? I don't know. I think it's going to be something bad anyway. You know, again, yeah, that was interesting. Because I actually thought that he wasn't working with Churchill. I know that's probably me being naive, just taking the story for as it was going. Do you know what I mean? Like, I totally forgot that they had a good relation. He did say that he's been working closely and talking to him and stuff, and obviously that's how he could give, you know, Jack, you know, his contacts, and he could get people in position of power to start listening to what he has to offer. But I never actually thought that Tommy would still be working. Because I did mention it earlier on in the season. He come when he stood there and he was saying to Tommy that they're fighting for the same cause and he respects him that he's been into war and he's gonna, you know, he kind of gave him the green light to do whatever it took to take down Mosley, didn't there? Whether it was kill him or whatnot. And it didn't go to plan last season, but it still looks like they're working together as a team. Now Tommy's got the import license or whatever you want to call it, the green light to go and start distributing into Boston. Now, is he going to do it or is Alfie going to do it? Do you know what I mean? Gina's not here today. Very interesting. We still see Michael. He's still locked away. Not seeing much of him as well. And again, he smashed that chair and whatnot, and it's ruthless. But like I say, man, in these times, people grieve in different ways, and you just have to accept it and move on. You can't pass judgment because you don't know how you're going to react. When your kid's died, you have no idea how you're going to react. So, I mean, so far, he's kept his cool. I know he's got to mold some people down. They deserved it. They was the ones that put the curse on Ruby, so I don't blame him for taking them out. And then today here as well, the only thing that he's done is throw a chair into a bit of fire, then he's handling it all right. Oh. Oh. Oh, Tommy's acquired some info. That's good.
I saw him leave.
Mosley's reputation is no secret.
Not MU. I know things. I read people's minds, you know.
Who's his informants? That's what I want to know. Because he acquires good info.
Glances across tables.
So why don't you just tell me what you actually want?
He'll be in the room when he meets senior members of the German government. I want to know what is discussed.
That's good, mate.
And I want to know what is decided.
You know, Michael thinks you're the devil. And I think he might actually be right.
What are Michael's real intentions towards me, Gina?
Oh, yeah?
If you lie, I will know.
Just telling me once she's dead.
To complete the deal. And then you both walk away.
I hope he's fucking read that right, mate. He reads a lot of stuff correct. You should... Yeah, you fucked it, mate. Usually he reads some stuff, you know, like when I watch it and I think, surely he's read that room right, and then he does read it right. You know what I mean? Like, sometimes the obvious is not obvious when you when you watch a show. But it seems like Tommy always picks up on it, respect it, I like it. That was good, mate. He wants information. I'm not going to be in that room, but you are. You're going to be my informant. You're going to be passing me that. Tommy's got a lot of people in high places that acquire lots of information. Do you get in them letters? Do you know what I mean? Who's acquired the passing of letters from the president to Nick, Jack, and then back? Do you know what I mean? That is key info. And this is a good one as well. Having her inside the room, earwigging, feeding it back. He's typing it up, sending it Churchill. Mad, mate. Yeah, and there's that letter. Here we go, finally.
Mr. Shelby, Dr. Holford.
Send him in.
When you were x-rayed and examined at the sanatorium 10 days ago, they tried to speak to you at the hospital. You could not be found to be informed in person. Tests suggest that the shadow you can see at the base of your skull is not cancer, it is tuberculoma. You may have picked it up from your daughter. It can be transmitted with a simple kiss. From the size of the tumor, expansion must have been rapid. Have you recently suffered seizures? Unlike TB, tuberculoma is not infectious. It is not infectious, but in your case, I am afraid it is inoperable.
How bad will it get?
Taking it like a man. You're going to die within a year or something.
As the tumor grows, the rate of physical and mental deterioration will increase.
How long?
You live correctly if you are determined and if you fight.
I asked you a question.
How long, man? Stop beating around the bush.
I don't want your fucking platitudes.
Sorry.
It's fine, Lizzie. My accountant here was just leaving.
Just say that.
Telephone you when I get back to
No, don't have enough time. You're an accountant. Give me a fucking number now.
Yeah.
1 year.
That's fine. That's all I need to know. Adjust my finances accordingly. Thank you.
Mate, he's took it like a man.
I will
That's
write you
crazy.
down the full implications.
Yep, thank you. Hey, give me a minute on my own, Lizzie.
You react to that, man. Guy's getting his whiskey out. The basilisk. Okay, so that was very interesting. Good episode. I knew that was going to happen. They been kind of building towards it. I'm not really disappointed. I've got to say I'm not disappointed because because we know that the season's ending, that's season 6, so it gives it a good way to bow out. You've got an expectancy of Tommy going and dying, so then the last 2 episodes are unpredictable. Do you know what I mean? Is he going to take a calm approach to taking down Jack and Michael and, do you know what I mean, working with Churchill and Mosley, take him out? Or is he going to take the savage approach like he done earlier on in the episode when he took his gun and went straight into the woods and mowed down that family? Do you know what I mean? The guy's got 12 to 18 months to live, and it's how is he going to deal with that? Now, me personally, being through everything that Tommy's been through, all the wars, all the rivalries, all the killings, all the businesses, you know, been to actual war himself, he is a true war hero. And the fact is, if I was going to choose, if I was him, the way to die, I would want it to be in a full-on either shootout, rivalry, whatever. So, I mean, it's not the best way to go, but I would rather die that way than be a sitting duck and just waiting for my own body to deteriorate and make me bedbound and need care around me. Do you know what I mean? That's what I would do anyway. I would like him to just go absolutely madness at the end. But do you know what, right? I know I've been saying I want Tommy to be on top and sat on the Empire and to beat Michael. I wouldn't actually mind now that if Tommy knows that he's about to die, if he somehow kind of works with Michael and helps him and puts him in a decent position. I prefer it to be Arthur, but, you know, I kind of flip-flopped on that. Only based on the information that we've acquired here. I wanted Tommy to beat Michael, but now that I know Tommy's going to be beaten by Tommy, I kind of want him to work and deal and to help Michael. Ollie's wishing it. One had to die. Let it only be one of them. Tommy's going to go. He's going to go. He is going to go. So I don't know. It's going to be interesting to see it. But yeah, I can't believe that he's cheating on him with Mosley. I thought it was bigger a part of the picture, but no, mate. Tommy's going to try and utilise that to his advantage moving forward. But how much is he going to try and utilise that with the little time he's got? We'll have to find out. Okay, that is going to wrap up today's episode. Thanks so much for checking out the channel today. Hopefully you guys did enjoy it. And what a crazy ending, you know. He took it really well, didn't he? You know, imagine if somebody come to you right now and told you that you got 12 to 18 months to live. How would you react? Tommy didn't really even move. Do you know what I mean? He was saying, look, mate, you're an accountant. Just give me the number. Right, thank you. I'll put my finances in order. Mad, mate. But again, very interesting. I'll keep going back to Arthur. He has had a massive, massive, massive part in all of the stories up to season 6, and now he's just a recurring character. He actually is, mate. You can't say nothing more than him being a recurring character. But Tommy had an interesting conversation with him, sat down in the basement when the wine was waiting to drip out the barrel. He was saying that, you know, all your life you always wanted to let me win. Do you know what I mean? You've always wanted me to succeed. And he was like, shall we do it again? So to speak. And like, he said that he believes in Arthur, that he can get back up, get on the narrow. If Arthur's not going to take the business, then I want it to be Michael, even though I'd never really chose Michael in the first place. But I wanted to pass down to even give it to Finn. I don't know, but Finn's not been in it enough. Do you know what I mean? Realistically, I wanted to be part of the Shelbys, but it has to be a character that, I don't know, has been in the show quite a lot and has an established storyline. Now, Tommy's got this tumour that his daughter had, which is ruthless because obviously she's passed away from it. And the doctor said that he's got it and it's not, he said something like it's not contagious, he's not going to spread it to others. But then he can, I don't know, unless I misread that, but he contradicted himself and said that, you know, you can get it from, they say like kissing or like being too close to her. And that's why I said, oh, he didn't wear a mask. And I'm not really too sure about that one, but like I said, mate, I wonder if he would like hold this information to himself. Earlier on in the episode, you see him do that like salute to Mosley, and obviously it confirmed to Jack that he's kind of like on their side. But I was not convinced that he was on their side. I feel like he was just doing it because he has to do it, because he's willing to go down this path, and you know, he's trying to take him down from the inside. And sometimes you have to make these bad decisions, or sometimes, like I said, you have to bend the knee, even if you are stronger than them, if you think you're more powerful than them, to get to a bigger, better result, something that you think is going to obviously improve the world. Then sometimes you have to give people small little wins, and that was one of them. Now again, very interesting, he was stood in the corner, dark, he was looking over at Diana, she was looking back at him. I'm not too sure what they're doing with that story, or if it's got any story at all. I might just be reading way too far into it. But again, she's got a massive agenda against the Jewish people. Proper agenda against them. Last episode, she was saying to Ada that she wanted to, you know, pass a bill or something, like to get rid of them all or something. And then today, she was kind of like laughing that she was sat down in the mountains eating breakfast while like loads of them got dragged up and made to eat grass or something in front of them. I don't know what problem is there. Again, though, Ada's son, you know, Freddie's son, every bit I've seen him, I'm not a big fan of him. You know, he was calling his brother that, and just because he's mixed race. And we had the Nazis throwing bricks through the window as well, saying that they didn't like black people. Again, I think that would have been a really interesting storyline and way to go down, but there's not enough time to progress and establish a proper storyline within the last couple of episodes. So it's interesting that he's there, and interesting that he's dropping in those comments, because she fired back at him and saying, well, you know, something's going to happen to us and something's going to happen to him, what's going to happen to you? Your dad's family was Jewish, you're part Jewish. Guy was devastated with that one. He didn't expect it, did he? But like I said, man, Tommy got a deal with Solomon's early on in the season. He's also got a deal with Jack now to do, you know, spread it into Boston. I'm excited to see, obviously, how that goes, how they actually go between all three of them in terms of, you know, the radicalization, you know, the fascists rising, Tommy taking down the empire. You know, is Mosley going to stay alive? Is there going to be any redemption for Abraham and his son who was killed in Pollard? Do you know what I mean? As a person from the IRA, is she going to, you know, get killed? Who knows? Last episode, it'd be sick if Tommy just goes in with a gun, just blows them all down and then kills himself. That'd be a mad way to go. But again, this episode, he was savage when he went and killed all them people in the woods. Don't blame him. Blames them for obviously his daughter's death, and he had to take some sort of action, and he avenged her in that way. Savage, but I liked it. It was good. So that's where we currently are. Hopefully you guys enjoyed today's episode. If you did, please smash the like, really helps out. Subscribe if you're new. And as always, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers, guys.